Hey everyone, it's Kalen. I'm one of the many people that have been extremely blessed by this ministry. My life has completely changed on how I experience God, how I see God, and I mean that figuratively and literally. Before I was really connected with Apostle Ferguson, I always wanted more in God. There's so much to experience. Even to right now, there's so much I want to encounter. And it wasn't until I was really connected and really submitted that God began to really take me to new places. Okay, so this is what happened. So when I was in high school, one of the things I always wanted to do was see God. I wanted to see Jesus, and I was very specific. I told God, I was like, I don't want to have a near-death experience. I don't want something super sad to happen, and then I gotta like see you just to feel better. And, like, I've seen all the videos on YouTube, just like probably most of you have, so I knew what I wanted. And I prayed for it. I sought after it, and it was 2018. It was a Thursday, and this was after I was, starting to be way more involved in the ministry. And God and Apostle really taught us how to press in and to use what God shows us, and not to stray from what He shows us, and not to doubt what He shows. One of the best things He's ever taught me is never doubt God. Always give Him the benefit of the doubt. So if you even think you see something, that's God. Always use that. So I remember it was a week that every time I would pray, I started to see glimpses. I was like, what is this? And then that Thursday of the week, I remember I was watching this show. It was called 911. And then afterward, I just felt this huge, weeping feeling. And I'm not a cry person. I know a lot of people that cry. I'm not that person. So I thought I was being dramatic. And I asked God, I was like, am I tripping? Am I being dramatic? And then I felt Him say, whatever you're willing, however vulnerable you're willing to be, I will use that. So I was like, okay. So I started praying, and I immediately started crying. And I didn't know why I was crying, and it didn't even matter, because I felt His presence, and it was tangible. I literally felt it in my body. And then I got on my knees, and I remember just crying, and then just like that. I was in one place, and then I was in the next. And I remember I was like this. And I was not asleep. I just want to preface this by saying this wasn't a dream. I wasn't just imagining this. It was everything all at once. So I was wide awake. So I was praying, and then bam, I opened my eyes and I heard things. I was in a whole new place. And it was music, and it was light, and it sounded almost like how I probably sound now. It had a vast sound to it. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, is this really happening? I remember crying. And it's something about heaven. And that's where I was, in case you were wondering. I was in heaven. I was like, is this real? Is this really happening? And I remember seeing, there was marble on the floor. It's beautiful. And it was almost like a texture to the room. It kind of had a mist to it almost. And I remember seeing these steps. And I've seen this before when I was 16. At that time, I had a dream, and I saw these steps that led up to the throne. But I didn't see past that when I was 16. So now I'm literally in this place, and I saw the steps, and I couldn't hold it together. And I remember I was walking, I was inching on, and I was just trying to just look around what is going on. And I saw the feet of the Father. And it's something about when you see that, you instantly know. I didn't think oh, is this Jesus? Is this so? I knew exactly what I was seeing. And even just seeing His feet just changed my life. And it kind of made me think about that scripture when everybody talks about you can't see God's face and live, when He talked about how He turned His back. And it was His back is just as glorious as His feet, and His face is all of it's holy. So I saw His feet, and I kept walking, and I remember he was sitting on almost like this. And He was regal. And He was and it wasn't an arrogance, but it was he just was. And He was sitting on this platform that had these rainbow, it was black platform, and it had this rainbow swirl color coming up almost like it had liquid in it. And it was coming up, and it was doing that. And then I remember he had a garment on, and I was like, oh, that's real, that's a thing. And he had a garment on, and then also the platform almost looked like a mirror. It had a frame. It was a beautiful gold frame around it. And then I was going like this, and I was trying to look up, and this whole time I was just crying my eyes out. I was just grateful to be there. And then I remember seeing, somehow I got closer. I don't know how, but it's like I flowed closer, and I saw the beard of the Father, and it was white. It was almost alive. It was pure white. Like I've never seen a white that pure. And it was long, and it was very well manicured. And I remember seeing his lips. That was the first thing of his face that I saw. And I was like, just undone. And his skin, he wasn't white, lack of a better word. And he wasn't black. He wasn't really dark skinned. He almost had the skin color of everybody. So it was everyone's skin. And it kind of just made so much sense why we all have different pigments. But not out of the shed. Because it all comes from the Father. And it was like this goldish almost color. It was beautiful. It was perfect color. And I remember seeing his mouth, and I was like scared to even look any further because I thought I was like gonna explode or something. And I looked up and I saw his eyes for the first time. And there was this beautiful blue electric eyes. And it was intense. And it had almost like, it had life in it. It like you can see, it was just, and I didn't have any words. Like you always think before you see the Father or Jesus, you'd be like, okay, so what happened in 2007 and what, I want to see this. And it's like, you don't have any words. You just look. And it was like, he felt how almost, I wasn't overwhelmed at that time, but he just felt how I was feeling everything. He just looked at me and I felt all of his love. And he said, I thought he was going to say something deep, like, hey, look, but he said, I love you. And he had a deep voice. And when he said it, a rainbow came out of his mouth. When he said, I love you, it literally, the words came out of his mouth. And it was like a mist. It was a rainbow mist. And it went into my body. And I remember being like, woo! And I said it out loud in front of him. And then I was kind of like, oh, I just did that in front of God. And I literally felt the love. It's like you can feel his love. And then I just broke down crying more, and then I was just staring at him, and then I kind of felt like he was ushering me to like, okay, you gotta see some other stuff. So I was turned around, and I remember seeing this huge double door. It was huge, and there were these huge angels standing over it, and everything in heaven has so much detail. There's like carvings, and it's like those almost like, I guess, European carvings that you would see. It was just immaculate detail. And walked out the doors, and I was outside, and it was kind of like this courtyard area. It was like I was on a bridge, and it had like this balcony, and it had like a little thing where you can see over the balcony. It was like stone, and it was an emerald green marble floor outside. And there were people there. I couldn't make out who the people were. I just remember there were people there, and they were worshiping, and it was just beautiful. And I saw clouds. I saw things that didn't even make sense to my natural mind. I saw a mountain, but it wasn't like this. It was like facing me, like the peak was facing me. And I was just like, and then I saw clouds at the top. So I was like, are we in the air? Like, what's going on? And then I walked outside. I walked from the bridge, and I was outside, like fully outside. And there was this beautiful green grass. And the grass was very vibrant. Like it had like light coming from the bottom up. Like it was like, and it made noise. It was like, and it had like a lot of energy to it. And I remember I yelled because of that. And then I saw this stream. Came out of nowhere. It went like that. It was really fast. And I yelled. And I thought about from his belly flows rivers of living water. And then I should. And then I followed the trail, and it went to a waterfall. And I've never seen a waterfall up close in my life. Like I've never seen a real waterfall. So just seeing that was just like, what? And I was at the top of it. It had rocks, and it was wild, and it was beautiful, and it was deep. And I didn't even want to look over there. And then a big hand came out of nowhere, and I took it and went, and I remember getting pulled, and out loud I said, woo! And then it was over, and I was like, oh. And where we landed, it was a different part of the field, and there was like this, there were these stairs. So we were on the ground, so this is the ground. And then the stairs went like that. So it kind of went underground, if that makes sense. And on the side, as I was walking down, it's kind of like I was being led down. Like I felt like there was somebody in front of me. And there was this water on the side. And I stopped and I turned, it was on this side of me. And I stopped and I looked at it because I was like, is it moving? It almost looked like a mirror. It was moving so perfectly that it looked like it wasn't moving. So I reached out to touch it, and also I was kind of like, I wonder what I feel this if I touched it. And I reached out, and when my fingers touched the water, shout out now about short and did say. When my fingers touched the water, it made music. It literally was like, I was like, I'm done. And the water had color to it. It was like this beautiful, what do you call it? Translucent. What is the word? It's like a purple. What is it? What did you say? It was an iridescent color, exactly. It was beautiful and it made sound. And then after that, I was just kind of like, I'm done. I didn't say it out loud because I didn't know what God wanted to show me next. But in my mind, I said, I can't take anymore. And it's like I remember hearing my thought out loud. And I was like, oh, snap. And then God said, this is where this ends. This is where this ends for you. And then he said, there will be 2 doors that appear before you. Just walk through it. And I was like, and I literally was like, okay. And then these big, really thick gold double doors was like at the top of these stairs. They were like stone stairs. And then I walked up the stairs, and then they went open like that. Then this huge bright light came, and everything got bright. And then I not woke up, but after the big white light appeared, I was like on the floor crying, and I couldn't move. And just a lot of things happened after that, and a lot of encounters have happened after that. And that was the only time I've seen the Father. And I know it's because of who I'm connected to. So it's very important to really take heed to everything that the apostle says and a lot of the teachers. If you do it, it'll work. God does not want to hide himself from you. He really wants a connection. He really wants to know you. Like being in front of him, it felt almost like a dream come true for the both of us. And I know that he wants that with everyone. So it's important. This is good ground. So stay connected, stay submitted, and just look forward to everything that God has in store. It's amazing. Okay, so since 17, I've always wanted to see the Father. And you have people that discourage you, but I always knew that I wanted to see. In February 2018, on a Thursday, Sharamomo! Hey! She got no boost. Yegamo! Oh, stuck on it! On the Thursday, that whole week, I was already praying, and as I was praying, I would see like little glimpses. And I'd be like, what was that? Like, I was kind of just like, what's going on? And, so I knew it was building towards something. I didn't know. Like, I saw a glimpse of this, saw a glimpse of that. So that day, I had a moment with God. I started praying, and then I don't weep a lot, especially at that time. So at that, I started feeling like this weeping feeling coming over me. And I was like, am I being dramatic? Shut up, I was like, am I being dramatic? I was like, God, what's going on? Then I heard, whatever you're willing to be vulnerable with, I can use that. So I was like, okay. So I didn't understand. Then I got on my knees like this. And then I started praying. And then I just like that. I was in another place. And I was like in 2 places at one time. Like the first thing I saw was this huge room, like this huge throne room. And it's like understanding started coming to me. Like I knew that it wasn't the only throne room, but I was in a throne room. And I remember these big windows. It was people there. I couldn't identify the faces or anything, but it was people there. And then I remember looking, yeah! Oh! So I looked straight ahead, and I saw these steps. Oh! And there were these really big, thick steps. There were 3 of them. And I went up towards it, and I remember I saw the feet of the Father. Oh! I saw the Father's feet. And then it started making so much sense how people say, like you can't see, he showed him his back. And I was like, his feet are just as glorious as his back. I was like, what do you mean? On the platform, he was sitting like I saw where his feet were, and on the bottom, like this part, it was black, and then it had like rainbow swirls coming out. Had rainbow swirls coming up from under it. Like it looked like it was almost black liquid, but it had like this beautiful, super vibrant. It didn't even make sense how vibrant these colors were coming up out of this black part, and he was going like that. So then, and also he was wearing like a garment, because I remember it was like right to his feet. And then I was kind of like this, and I was inching on up. I was walking up, so I was kind of like doing this. And as I got closer, and when I got to right up, Jesus. As I got right up, when I got right up here, I saw the beard of the Father. And it was white, and it was long, and it was manicured. It was perfect, and it was pure white. Like it was the perfect white, like supernatural white. It was like bright, but it wasn't shining, but it was shining. It was just amazing.
Testing.
And then I remember, as I was going like this, and then I remember seeing his lips for the first time. I saw his mouth, and I was starting to see his skin, and he wasn't black. He wasn't white. He had this beautiful, like almost golden skin. It was like everybody in this room mixed together. It was like the perfect skin tone. And then I realized that I was like, oh, better keep me up out of there. Then I realized that's where all of our pigments come from. When I was seeing him, everything started making sense. I'm like, it all comes from him. And then I remember, hey! I remember I kept looking up, and then I finally saw his eyes for the first time. And I remember it was like these electric blue eyes. They were electric. Oh! And he had thick, wavy white hair. Thick, wavy. It was wavy and it was long. It was thick. It went to about right here. And I couldn't say anything. Like I thought I was gonna have all these questions. I thought I was gonna have so much to say. And then I just looked up and I was just like, and then only thing he just said, I love you. And when he said that, a rainbow swirl came out of his mouth. I saw the rainbow. It came out of his mouth, and it went into my soul. I felt it in my body. It was like a mist, and it went like, and I was like, whoa. And that was it. Oh yeah, so like I was saying, his skin color, because we want to recap, it was like a golden, it was like a mixture of everybody's color. Like everybody in this room, you got some people light skin, you got some people like dark skin, got brown, got peanut butter, chocolate, caramel. It was everybody's complexion came from the Father. So it makes sense that it looked like everybody. So that was it.